Now, Karurah Activated Turmeric, I predict, is going to be one of our highest selling products here at the Health Department on UTV. Now, we're so lucky to be able to launch this and to discover the amazing benefits from this unique product. But before we meet our guest, I'm going to kickstart straight off with the offer, with the deal that we have for you. Note, this offer is not free jars or junk offers, as Karurah Activated Turmeric is a high quality, incomparable product that would be better compared to, say, I don't know, a course of steroid injections followed by joint replacement surgery, which can cost tens of thousands of dollars. So today, you're buying 2 and you are getting 1 for free with a massive saving. It's so exciting. Now, if you're having, say, 2 capsules a day, which is, I think, what a lot of people take, unless perhaps they've got to increase it due to inflammations, this is a 5-month supply that you're going to be able to get hold of. Now, this brand has amazing 5-star reviews. You've got your 30-day money-back guaranteed, but we're going to have a read later as to what people are all saying about this brand. Now, this could actually be one of the best products in the world right now when it comes to turmeric. And we have a fantastic offer because you're buying 2 bottles and you're getting a bottle for free. That's a 5-month supply when taking 2 a day. Now, the guest that you're about to meet is not somebody who creates average quality products. In fact, it is years and years of research and development that goes into his formulations. And also, if it isn't to his knowledge the best in the world, if each component isn't fully supported by good science and he hasn't tested it on himself and loads of test subjects to prove the efficacy, then it won't ever be released. Now, I'd like to welcome the creator, the founder, and all-round great guy, Mr. Vic Cherikov. Or should I say Dr. Vic Cherikov? How are you?
Fine, Nikki.
Mr. Fine. Now, this is another leading-edge whole food blend that has taken a lot of time to research, create, test, and retest. It's gratifying, isn't it, that sufferers of worn-out joints?
Oh, absolutely. Basically, avoiding, the really serious complications of age, of sporting injuries, of, a whole range of different impacts on the body that, we sort of abuse ourselves as teenagers and then wonder why we're falling apart in our 40s and 50s and more. So, yeah, no, absolutely. And this is amazing. I mean, I like to compare the Karurah Activated Turmeric to a Bugatti as against what else is out there in the market in turmeric products. Well, that's the horse and cart, still way, way back there. And we're finding that a lot of the extracts that are based on, or a lot of the products that are based on just extracts, or what I call food fragments, they're the ones that are now starting to really be discovered to have issues. Okay, so let me stress, this is a whole food blend of a whole range of composite products that all contribute anti-inflammatory action, and the science basically supports this the whole way. Anti-inflammatories, antioxidants, anti-rogue cells, goes on and on and on.
Well, let's just rewind here, because what is the inflammation we hear and read? We read so much about it, don't we? What is actually happening
really good
at
question.
Such a growing pace?
No, look, absolutely. Essentially, inflammation, I mean, let's even talk COVID, okay? And people have heard about these cytokine storms that these little viruses basically bring on throughout your whole body. And that's why you basically go downhill very, very quickly. And now we're finding that, long COVID is going on for, 9 months in some people. Interestingly also, there's a lot of damage that happens with brain effects, and brain health is really a problem. And in actual fact, whenever inflammation hits the body, whether it's the heart, whether it's the blood vessels, whether it's even a cut that gets an infection. And so, you get the cytokines go there. It's a part of our natural immune system's defense system. They're there to kill the bacteria that might be invading the cut. Now, that could also be toxins from the air. It could be something we breathe. And so the inflammation could be in our lungs. It could be anywhere. They're even coming to a term now called metaflammation, which is metabolic inflammation, okay? So what happens is that our immune system basically comes to the site where we've got this invasion or damage or whatever, and we try and quench it through natural immune suppression. In fact, our own immune system, although the cytokines are part of it, we then need anti-inflammatories from our diet, from other sources, to be able to then reduce the effect of the cytokines, try and avoid the cytokine storm that we get in COVID, for example.
And this is where the Karurah activated turmeric comes in. And I've known Vic for about, 15, 16 years. And you always talked about diseases of our civilization, and inflammation is one of those. So what's in Karurah Active that can help that? What ingredients?
Well, it's interesting that they recently retermed the diseases of civilization to diseases of nutrition, and there's good reason for that, because it's the nutritional delivery of these, what they call phytonutrients, plant nutrients. And I sort of describe the plant nutrients, the phytonutrients, as tiny superheroes that we get from food, and they buzz around our body doing superhero stuff. And it's only because these phytonutrients are what we depend on for health that we eat fruits, vegetables, and we need to pick the best source of them. What we've done with the, what I've done with the Karurah activated turmeric is I've paired it with other wild foods, or with wild foods such as the Kakadu plum, which a lot of people know about. It's almost world famous after we discovered it back in the 80s, and I analysed and we published the first paper on the vitamin C content of Kakadu plum. But that now, the Kakadu plum is high, not just in vitamin C, and interestingly, vitamin C actually assists the absorption of the actives out of turmeric.
Right.
Okay, so we start from, we can say a little bit more about the ingredients as we go along, but we start with a whole root turmeric that's been dried and milled, and then we pick that with the highest level of curcuminoids, not just curcumin, but we're looking at the whole class. There's 3 of them. And there's also proteins and good sugars and some volatile oils in there, which are like essential oils, and resins in turmeric as well, in the turmeric root. So all that's in there. And the actives assisted and absorbed through things like the Kakadu plum, things like the Illawarra plum, backs it up again. And
is this one here?
that's the Illawarra plum. That's really interesting because this is a favourite fruit of mine. And one of the things I'll show you, if you have a bit of a look-see.
It's like jam, isn't it?
It's like jam, but there's a stickiness to it. And see how it's sort of almost gooey, and that is actually what they call the mucopolysaccharides, the sticky sugars out of the Illawarra plum that are part of the fibre, the nutritional quality. It really does give us...
good sugars.
Good sugars, okay. Bad sugars is fructose and sucrose. Good sugars are basically everything else. And there are dozens of them, and we tend not to really appreciate the fact that there are good sugars out there. And people say, oh, you've got to stop eating sugar and so on. Well, no, we need the good sugars that are part of antioxidants, that are part of really how cells communicate and so on and so forth.
So the Illawarra plum and the Kakadu plums, they're the top of the line of antioxidants and antimicrobials. We're going to go through these individually.
Yeah.
We do have the turmeric, as you said.
Yep. So the turmeric starts with a high curcuminoid level, plus all the other things, as I mentioned, the resins and so forth. I can talk about resins a bit later down the line as well. The piperine, well, actually we put in black pepper, finely ground black pepper for its piperine. But the fact that we're using whole black pepper as well, it again is a superfood, a functional food on its own. And people don't realise that, you know, black pepper, if you add it to foods such as turmeric and others, will basically, again, potentiate the absorption of the active compound. So it makes the whole product far more effective.
So it's like a delivery system.
Delivery system. So we've got Kakadu plum, adding vitamin C and ellagic acids, bumping up the delivery system, if you like. Good call. The black pepper's doing it. In fact, we have a combination of 3 different peppers. We use the black pepper, mountain pepper, which is in the small jar on the left there, the small dish, yep. And then we use Szechuan pepper as well, which has got a long history in Asian cultures as a functional food and a therapeutic as well. And again, I mean, Google Szechuan pepper, there's reams of information on just why it's so good for you. And it's got some interesting characteristics. It sort of numbs the taste, taste on your tongue, and so it's used in a lot of really hot, chilly foods. But that's sort of part of the cuisine side of things, which is good fun with these foods as well.
What I love about this is there's turmeric out there, but they've just got turmeric. But you've got a synergy of all of these amazing whole foods coming together with a delivery system as well. It's powerful.
It is. I mean, you think about it. You're making a dish or something, you're cooking something, you're not using one ingredient, just eating that one ingredient. You don't sit down to a basket full of apples, or, you don't eat a whole container of oranges or a tomato. It's a combination. And so that's how we evolve to get our nutrients with and there's even plant and food pairings that we're sort of understanding, like wine and food or alcohol and food can pair. Well, different things in food as well balance each other, affect the absorption of the active components. And when we're looking at functional foods, which is a whole new science, only been out, in fact, the Australian government doesn't even have a definition for what a functional food is yet. It's way behind the European standards. But, functional foods are those foods that deliver more than just calories, bucketful of carbohydrates and protein.
Powerful, I want to say powerhouse of whole foods and functional foods here. This is what we're not getting from our diet. And
exactly.
This is
that's the other point. Absolutely.
Makes your formulation different to anything out there on the market. But also, not getting those in the diet is causing the inflammation. And remember, buy 2, get 1 free today.
Yep.
Literally, because the deals are on the screen for it. All you need to do is head to the website below, AussieSuperfoods.com/turmeric -options.
Google a QR code, it's a lot easier.
Just go to the QR code, AussieSuperfoods.com, and you'll be okay. But it's an amazing deal. And to think that, even if we bought in season, we bought whole foods, there's going to be all sorts of things that could tamper with those. That means that we're not getting what we need from those foods. But what you've got are these amazing functional foods.
Absolutely. There's turmeric and there's turmeric. You can get turmeric that's got low levels of all the actives in it, and is basically just a good filler in a way, or could be used as a spice for a bit of colour in the dish and so on. But this is what the Indians call Indian saffron. This is the top end of the turmeric market. And we get organic turmeric, and it comes in with a standard, so we know exactly where it's at. And we're getting, obviously, suppliers that we audit as well. And yes, we're getting something which you cannot compare with whatever. Anything else out there is literally coming with the baggage. Google the problems of curcumin if you want to have a look a little bit more about it. It's actually quite frightening. And there's also a whole lot of warnings that come on, and more now that the TGAs get involved, because there's been a few fairly serious conditions, and even one death in Australia over these supplement products. Now, I'm not going to bag anyone else, but I mean, at least the TGA is now looking at it, which is our regulatory authority for medicines. And so there's going to be warnings on more and more products out there that are just basically turmeric based, but turmeric extracts, the food fragment style. Whole foods, you can't basically stop it. It's just like, what, they're going to stop us eating?
Yep.
No, we've got the very best foods on the market.
We do, and we've got, what was the other one? Rainforest.
Desert lime. The limes. Yeah, well, it's a wild lime, basically. I mean, we use a little bit of rainforest, desert, whatever we can get vast quantities of. There again, they contain limanoids, and limanoids is this whole class of antioxidants and anti-inflammatories. And I use the term sort of, they're two classes of compounds that work together in synergy, because we're sort of looking at, if you can imagine, we're made up of cells, okay, and channels between the cells. And inside the cells are these little things that infect us way back, when we were in the primordial swamp and crawling out of the slime, and they're called mitochondria.
Speak for yourself, Vic.
Oh, no, look, you would have leapt out of this primordial slime, like the rest of us. But the mitochondria are now part of our cells, and they generate the energy. Okay, ATP molecules. Now, those mitochondria also tell the cell whether it can reproduce in a nice, healthy fashion, or whether it's time to die. A tap on the shoulder, and basically the cell will die from the mitochondrial signal.
So what does that mean
cell.
to me with my inflammation?
Well, it is part of quenching the inflammation at source. Okay, so what happens is, if it's an infection, then your immune cells might attack it, and then ultimately they might say, well, these cells that are now infected have got no chance of recovery, so they're programmed to die. They disappear, and then we get in the macrophages that come in and eat the cells, recycle all the nutrients, the ATP and the mitochondria can get recycled as well. And our body then replaces itself. Some of our tissues are replacing themselves every 7 days, and some a little bit longer. But the interesting thing is, with this inflammation that happens all through the body. Our organs are affected, our cells are affected, the mitochondria are affected. These antioxidants and anti-inflammatories are fixing up the problems. And when we can say, well, look, if you've got inflammation in your body, you've got it in your brain as well, that's a real challenge. You sort of then have to start thinking about, well, where is my cognitive health? And I heard a great line in an audio book I was listening to, and the author said, well, look, losing your keys every now and then is quite normal. We all do it. That's not a problem. It's not a measure of any diminishing cognitive health. But when you find your keys, if you don't know what to do with them, then you need to start to concern yourself over brain health. And so again, these compounds also, because they help with so many ways into the body, will cross what they call the blood-brain barrier. And then we can get these actives into the brain to also repair things as well.
It's amazing. So that's just some of the ingredients. The final ingredients I think we've got is the anise myrtle and the pineapple core.
Yeah, well, pineapple core gives us live enzymes, and that's sort of important because the live enzymes in our body will move around and clean up damaged cells and scar tissue and hardened tissues as well and so forth. So in pineapple core we get bromelain as the enzyme, okay, and that's the key ingredient there as well, which you don't. It's not easy to get bromelain again in a system that can be delivered because we also put the Karurah Active Turmeric into time-delayed or slow-release capsules. They're vegan, for those worried about gelatin capsules, but these are a vegan capsule that goes through the stomach. So it takes all the food ingredients through the stomach into the gut, and then that's where the actives are released and they can interact directly to the microbiome, and we're getting the very, very best.
So as you're talking now about people taking them, I'm sat at home now and I'm thinking, I suffer from inflammation here, joints, here. I'm feeling really rubbish. I want to get this today. When I get it home, Vic, and I start taking it, how am I going to feel and how long will it be until I notice that feeling?
A couple of days.
That quick?
That quickly. In fact, I give one capsule to my dog who recently damaged its leg, okay, and it was sort of chewing at the fur. I didn't understand what was going on. I thought it was a skin infection, but there's nothing there on the skin. I used a bush medicine. I knew that, but then I saw it limping a little bit, and I gave one tablet, and the next day the dog's leg was fine. So
Can I tell you a story? Just a quick analogy here. You're talking about your dog. I was on TikTok the other night and there's a vet that I follow. I know, me on TikTok. There's this vet I follow, an Indian guy in South Africa, and he's amazing. And he said he has a lot of people come to him saying, my dog's got arthritis, my dog's inflamed, what can I give them that's natural? And he turned around and he said, you give them the golden paste. And he basically put the ingredients up for the golden paste, which was turmeric, coconut oil. But and I looked, and it was funny because I was researching for this show, and there's a vet recommending it for dogs with arthritis.
So when you get it home and you're going to try it and start on it, if you've got sort of pain and obviously you're motivated to address the inflammation, even if you recognise that we're all suffering from inflammation on a daily basis, and I mean, it's from our early youth through teens. In fact, even what our grandmother ate can determine what we need in terms of what we're missing and what we're predisposed to. And they're now looking at this nutrigenomics concept of what we inherited in terms of genes.
So you don't necessarily have to know or feel that you've got the inflammation the body naturally is. It
is absolutely a great way to it's part of your insurance policy, part of your health insurance, okay? I mean, I don't take health insurance, I don't need to. I've got my own products that I absolutely trust in, and the science basically backs up everything. And you get into the medical system, well, that's a whole new nightmare in itself.
I'm not going to start. I feel like I've wound him up.
But the thing is, if you've got pain, for example, that you want to address, I always suggest 2 capsules in the morning and 2 at night. At least do that for a week or so, and then cut back to the 2 capsules daily. daily. Now there's 100 in a jar, so if you once you're sort of normal, feeling normal again, and you've got flexibility and good movement and you're starting to get your inflammation under control, well then you can just cut back to a maintenance serve, we call it. It's a food, so we're serving this maintenance dose of 2 capsules a day, and that's going to, every time you buy a jar, it's going to give you literally 50 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
And imagine how you could feel, Vic's saying in 2 days, you know, but if you're loving what you're hearing, if you want that insurance policy, how did you feel this morning when you woke up? Did you notice that you had the niggles and the inflammations? Are you struggling? Are you suffering? We have got an amazing introductory offer from Vic. Just head to AussieSuperfoods.com, use the QR code, it goes straight there on the bottom of the screen, and you can get this amazing offer, which is buy 2, get 1 free. How easy is that? I suggest that you do it now, and that, if you're taking 2 capsules a day, will give you 5 months, which is almost half a year. What would you pay to get back your flexibility and just not that constant noise of inflammation? Now, I've got a couple of reviews here that I'd like to read for you. Actually, one I'd really like. Prior to my hip replacement operation, I was in debilitating pain. Vic suggested I take 2 Karurah activated turmeric capsules twice a day. I was sceptical at first, given that the doctor had told me my hips should be thrown out. But with a month before surgery, I was more than delighted to give a natural product a go before resorting to hardcore painkillers. I noticed an improvement almost immediately and continued with the capsules up until the operation. My thanks to Vic, and I hope by sharing this testimonial, others will benefit from this product as I have, and that was from Martin. And it is so true about, you know, even if you can avoid the painkillers, you know. Now, you have a 30-day money-back guarantee with this, so what have you got to lose apart from your inflammation? Now, I'm going to give you a chance to order yours. Quickly jump on or use the QR code, and we're going to be back to learn a whole lot more from Vic after this.
Welcome to the world launch of Karurah Activated Turmeric, considered by some as the most powerful, potent and effective form of turmeric that can be found in the world. While there is no magic pill or single ingredient that will address all our health issues from our modern diets, Karurah Activated Turmeric can certainly assist with a wide range of issues. Its individual ingredients may assist with the symptoms of joint support, assisting with arthritis, inflammatory issues, help in supplying the body antioxidants, moods, liver support, psoriasis, and can even assist in the body's fat-burning ability. Karurah Activated Turmeric is a science-based blend. It includes freeze-dried kakadu and Illawarra plums for their significant joint support components and their extremely powerful anti-inflammatory properties. Karurah Activated Turmeric also contains yet another anti-inflammatory power source, that is MSM. This also acts as a natural source of sulfur for the body. There's also wild Australian herbs to assist with joint support and added anti-inflammatory benefits, plus piperine for enhanced bioavailability. This powerhouse of potent and powerful ingredients are delivered in an enteric-coated capsule so that they get to where they're meant to without any loss from the digestive processes in the stomach. Karurah Activated Turmeric is an organic form of turmeric that's farmed in India. This turmeric has a very high active curcumin of 8% compared to the average turmeric product on the market that contains only 0.5%. This makes Karurah turmeric 16 times more potent than the average product on the market. It also enables a 20% absorbency of the turmeric compared to an average of 3% from other products. Karurah's turmeric has not only a higher active curcumin, but also is not genetically modified. This, mixed then with the powerful anti-inflammatory of the Illawarra plum, kakadu plum and MSM, sets Karurah apart from other products on the market. Plus, this powerhouse is delivered to the body via the black pepper delivery system. Not only does this have a completely different formula to other turmeric products on the market, it's very unique and could possibly be the most powerful and effective effective in the world right now. Imagine the benefits you could start feeling and how this could truly be one of those life-changing products. Purchase your 3-month supply with an amazing saving right now. That's under 80 cents a day to possibly make a difference to your life. We're that confident you will love Karurah Turmeric Active. We are offering a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go on, take that step and experience the power of Karurah Activated Turmeric.
Experience the power of Karurah Activated Turmeric, and you can right now. I'm here, I'm Nikki Vincent. I'm here with Dr. Vic Sherikoff.
Just Mister.
Now, Vic, why did you bring this to market? I know you didn't bring anything to market quickly. It's years of research, and it has to be the best in the world, has to be backed by science, has to be proven to work. Why? What actually precipitated this?
Well, I was actually looking for something that accelerated the anti-inflammatory effect in joints and muscles and tendons and so forth. I mean, personally, I've got de Quervain syndrome from 2 dislocated thumbs because of fighting in my youth in my martial art. Both thumbs over time got dislocated and bruised, and the tendon sheath of both my thumbs have now calcified, which is another reason that we need antioxidants as well, and anti-inflammatories, and even compounds that attack the calcium directly. And so again, what I always say, and part of all this research, is that we should not be taking calcium supplements. Okay.
You've always said that.
Always said that, absolutely. Yeah. And there's good science now behind it. In fact, there's a whole journal called, basically Calcium International, and this just deals with calcium problems. It's quite amazing. But anyway, back to turmeric. The whole deal is that I wanted to be able to, work on my thumbs and, get back to my finger push-ups and so forth. Although some of my other products do work as anti-inflammatories as well, that's not their main focus, and it's sort of a little bit slower, but it still happens. This gives you immediate hit, okay? It just basically sorts you out in no time at all. As I said, with my dog, overnight, and it's no longer limping from a sore knee. And I can actually forget about giving it a capsule a day for a little while, and then when I see it limping again, bang, you do it again. And interestingly, animals actually suffer from too much calcium too in their soft tissues, which and the inflammation is, we're just animals really. So
well, let's look at all the benefits of the turmeric. I mean, we've talked about having a healthy anti-inflammatory response, not just reducing the symptoms.
Yeah.
Let's go through them.
Well, that's the interesting thing. If you're looking at this whole composite of ingredients, synergistically giving you something where the net result is bigger than the sum of the parts, we've got the anti-inflammatory response basically in hand, and a healthy anti-inflammatory response at that, because this is how we really were intended to get our phytonutrients. I mean, it's not that we're taking something synthetic.
It tackles the cause, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And the other thing is, you look at the curcumin products on their own, and they come with warnings. Don't take it if you're taking painkillers. Don't take it if you're on chemotherapy. Don't take it if you're basically treating diseases like diabetes and other things. There's a whole range of problems that curcumin on its own causes. No problem at all with the Karurah activated turmeric. So that's an interesting one. So you also get joint support. Not only does the pain disappear because the inflammation goes, but it starts to support both the synovial fluid, which is that membrane sac in between the joints that's almost like your friction modifier. So it reduces the friction between the two bones as they meet. That's in the synovial fluid, and that's part of rheumatoid arthritis, essentially, right? So you need a healthy synovial sac and fluid, and again, as we get these anti-inflammatories, antioxidants into those tissues as well, you're getting benefits. It also helps the cartilage formation and the renewal. So that's pretty exciting as well. So you get the whole deal there with joint support, getting it back to normal.
But you can get back to normal, as you
Well, it means that you can, as you said, you wake up in the morning, you don't have all the aches and pains, the stiffness is gone, you can walk, run, move.
You get to a point where you forget what normal
don't you?
Feels like.
Yeah.
And suddenly when you have that pain-free day, it's like, You know, it
Yeah.
hits you when you can stand for periods of time in a supermarket, in a queue, without getting that burning sensation perhaps in your
No,
back.
absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, as your immunity improves, again, with the control of these anti-inflammatories and so forth, it's going to, sometimes, you know, you sort of talk about it and about how you just don't get sick much anymore with all these, with good nutrition and the right phytonutrients. And people, you know, you can somebody say, well, I haven't been sick for years. You know, I've not had a cold since I can't remember. And that's the new normal. Okay, whereas somebody is basically catching everything that's going around, you know, that's poorly serviced by their food. So you also get the muscular support as
And joint
part of the
support.
joint support, and then your posture's improved. And as soon as your posture improves, you feel better. Your confidence is there, and so, you know, again, you're in a different place in life. And the younger you feel, the younger you are.
Yeah, well,
okay, so it slows aging in that way.
You can't move, or if your body's sore or aching and you get things like the sharp stabbing pains, you're not looking your best, are you?
Absolutely, absolutely.
You know, as opposed to being elevated and your posture being able to support you.
No, absolutely. And let's not forget also that inflammation in the eyes, which can happen as well and does happen, again, they're finding now that, you know, these actives even help eye health, ocular health, and they're getting right down to why and so on. I mean, we should all be eating saffron, for example, by the pinch, because it actually is now regarded as the best plant food for macular degeneration, okay? So, you know, you add that to a mix. In fact, if you're taking the activated turmeric, you can actually enhance the absorption. I said before, vitamin C, which we've got it there in the Kakadu plum, but again, ginger is something that, you know, if you had a ginger tea
Great
with
for
it,
inflammation.
it improves the absorption of the anti-inflammatories from turmeric as well, okay?
Now, what I love about the Karurah activated turmeric is that it's an organic form of turmeric. It's farmed in India, and this turmeric has a really high active curcumin of 8%, and that's compared to an average turmeric product on the market that says maybe contains about 0.5. That's like 16 times the potency.
That's right, but the problem again is that people are recognising that they want to put more and more of this cheap curcumin food fragment in there as an extract, which is coming with all the baggage of problems, and now TGA is on the aware as well because of these problems in Australia. But the problem is that people want, I want a 95% curcumin content. I mean, you're just asking for, you know.
But you don't want curcumin junk. You want...
They really, and it doesn't matter what form it is. In a way, if they're trying to just increase the absorption of the curcumin, that actually exacerbates the problem.
Right.
Okay, because you basically, here's a way of getting more toxin into your system. Oh, fantastic, that's why I want to die quicker.
So what is actually curcumin?
Well, curcumin is, I mean, it's an anti-inflammatory, essentially. It's a small molecule, and it's one of the curcuminoids, which is a class of antioxidants that's common to this curcuma longa, which is the botanical name of curcumin. Okay, so it's one of the actives. It's sort of, it's pretty much the same as most of the herbal medicines that you see through Ayurvedic medicine, through Chinese or Asian medicines. You know, they will have certain compounds that are now proving that these traditional therapies work, but in actual fact, they were never used as pure ingredients, okay? I mean, it's only the last few generations essentially where we've moved into this chemical industry, and we've now got the pharmaceutical and the medical industry coming together as industries, looking at how we can keep people as sick as we can, reduce the symptoms but don't kill the disease, because, you know, a patient cured is a customer lost. You know,
there's no money in that.
There's no money in that anymore.
Now, let's talk about the absorption, because the curcumin it actually enables a 20% absorbency of the turmeric compared to an average of 3%. So once again, that's 7 times almost from some other general products on the market. This Karurah activated turmeric has not only a higher active curcumin than most, but also is not genetically modified.
Yeah, or chemically modified in the extraction process as well, because you're never, as I say, getting the other supportive compounds. The resin, the protein, the volatile oils, the good sugars, and so forth. They all get left behind. And typically, there was an interesting study that was published. I can send people a paper if they particularly want it. But these researchers extracted the curcumin with the usual method of extraction from plant material, and then they looked at the anti-inflammatory qualities of the leftovers, and they found that that was equivalent to what the claims were for the curcumin extract. So you put it all together and you're going to get a better response anyway. And then in the Karurah product here, we're adding all these other functional ingredients that are just amplifying the effect. There is nothing like this on the market. You're buying a Bugatti in the turmeric world, and you can leave your horse and cart back in the street.
I love that. But what that means is joint support and flexibility, muscles, joint and posture. We haven't even gone over the weight maintenance yet.
Well, I mean, again, if you can move and you're free and you've got good flexibility in the joints, why wouldn't you exercise? I mean, it's dead easy.
Reducing metaflammation.
Metaflammation all the way through. That means that we're starting to age more slowly because our organs, our cells are healthier. They're getting recycled as they should be. Our mitochondria are doing what they're doing.
But it's beyond the joints as well, isn't it? There's the brain, there's the heart, there's the blood vessels.
Every organ, even our tissues, even our lymphatics, even, I mean, we're finding now a lot of work being done in neuroscience, in the brain chemistry and so forth, and just how we need to support. I mean, one time there's grey matter in our brain, and we thought, well, this is made up of glial cells, and people just thought it was part of the brain architecture, just so that it would structure in a certain way, and the neurons can sit in this glial structure, the glial cell structure. So they thought it was just sort of the architecture of the brain. Now they're finding that this feeds the neurons as well, and there's a whole lot of effects of this grey matter, and if we start seeing the thinning of grey matter in the brain, that's a sign of metaflammation.
See, I'm thinking of things like, lead on from that, obviously as a psychology graduate, I'm thinking of, what happens to mood and depression and all of those things that are affected with this work on the the neurons.
Well, we actually had a woman just recently, in fact, did email me taking out products again and saying, she was suffering from ADHD. Okay, now I'm not making any claims
obviously
here. This is a whole food. This is really just people's experience, and we really say, I mean, I just say, try it for yourself, because I mean, we can definitely say that a diet that's rich in phytonutrients, that is essentially plant-based. Game meats, if you want to add, and seafood is great too, but plant-based phytonutrients is where the business end is. Then, you can expect, and science is supporting, the minimisation of effects on the heart, the blood vessels, the kidneys, the liver, brain health, cognitive health and resilience, and everything from executive function through to memories of the brain. All that stuff is supported.
And, we say all results vary and everybody has their story, and I've got some stories here, and these are personal anecdotes from people, which I find incredibly powerful. This is from Jeff. I'm a 42-year-old disabled man who suffers from extreme joint, back, neck and arthritis pain. I trialled the double dose to start, then reduced to normal rate. I was surprised by the results. After a few days, my arthritis and joint pain has significantly reduced. The caps are easy to swallow with the extended release formula. There's no nasty aftertaste. I've ordered 6 more bottles to share with my parents. Isn't that amazing? Because the parents have got their own pain issues. There's another one from Tracy, and she's been taking curcumin, another brand, for a while. And she began using Karurah activated turmeric because she loved the inclusion of MSM. MSM has been great for her condition, and now combined with curcumin and other goodies, these capsules are delivering results for her aches and pains. It's early days at the moment, and she's found some great benefits, and she can't wait for the longer term benefits to come.
We've had a lot of people that have either gone travelling and forgotten to take their Karurah product with them, and had pain come on, and so they've gone shopping wherever they are, try the competitors' products, or basically other turmeric products, and have written to us saying, it's chalk and cheese.
Yeah, but MSM, Tracy mentioned MSM, that, some brands just have that as a singular ingredient product.
Which is not the way to go again. It's
included.
got to be an inclusion because it's supported by everything else in there. Now, MSM is actually an organic sulfur, and sulfur is also important in the structure of some amino acids, so it allows us to basically if you look at the minerals that are important in the body, sulfur is actually number 3.
Wow.
All right, and we don't get enough sulfur because it's low levels in food. Things like the MSM you'll find in eggs and in offal and some meat products. You know, some people are moving away from meat and one thing. But the other supplies are things like garlic and onion with the allium group, and there's sulfur sources there, but it's still very, very low. And so, you know, by enriching the diet with an organic, it's the exact same product that's made in the body and is coming from these foods, and by putting it into this product, we just found an enormous explosion of benefit. Okay, so that's skin health, hair health, nail strength.
Great side effects.
All of these basically require sulfur. So where's it going to come from? Okay, we're doing that.
Okay, now I know you want to grab yours. If you want his very, very special offer. Also, if you don't want to get the 3-pack, you can go onto the website and you can get a single or a duo, but the best value is in this. And you do have a 30-day money-back guarantee. This is your 3-pack, buy 2, get 1 free. Head to AussieSuperfoods.com or use the QR code and it'll take you straight there. And remember, if you are getting that 3-pack, if you're taking 2 tablets a day, you'll be getting around 5 months, that's almost half a year supply. Imagine how amazing you could feel after 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. I'm going to give you some time to get on the site now. And please, when you do start using it, send Vic an email. You'll find all his details on the website. Let him know how you're feeling. And he's also got some other amazing products on his website. Have a fish around. There's Life, there's
we have an active magnesium and Chanka Plus, which is...
And they all work beautifully together.
And all, again, different areas of health.
Have a read and we'll give you a chance to shop and we'll be back the other side of this.
Welcome to the world launch of Karurah Activated Turmeric. Considered by some as the most powerful, potent and effective form of turmeric that can be found in the world. While there is no magic pill or single ingredient that will address all our health issues from our modern diets, Karurah Activated Turmeric can certainly assist with a wide range of issues. Its individual ingredients may assist with the symptoms of joint support, assisting with arthritis, inflammatory issues, help in supplying the body antioxidants, moods, liver support, psoriasis, and can even assist in the body's fat-burning ability. Karurah Activated Turmeric is a science-based blend. It includes freeze-dried kakadu and Illawarra plums for their significant joint support components and their extremely powerful anti-inflammatory properties. Karurah Activated Turmeric also contains yet another anti-inflammatory power source, that is MSM. This also acts as a natural source of sulfur for the body. There's also wild Australian herbs to assist with joint support and added anti-inflammatory benefits, plus piperine for enhanced bioavailability. This powerhouse of potent and powerful ingredients are delivered in an enteric-coated capsule so that they get to where they're meant to without any loss from the digestive processes in the stomach. Karurah Activated Turmeric is an organic form of turmeric that's farmed in India. This turmeric has a very high active curcumin of 8% compared to the average turmeric product on the market that contains only 0.5%. This makes Karurah turmeric 16 times more potent than the average product on the market. It also enables a 20% absorbency of the turmeric compared to an average of 3% from other products. Karurah's turmeric has not only a higher active curcumin, but also is not genetically modified. This, mixed then with the powerful anti-inflammatory of the Illawarra plum, kakadu plum and MSM, sets Karurah apart from other products on the market. Plus, this powerhouse is delivered to the body via the black pepper delivery system. Not only does this have a completely different formula to other turmeric products on the market, it's very unique and could possibly be the most powerful and effective in the world right now. Imagine the benefits you could start feeling and how this could truly be one of those life-changing products. Purchase your 3-month supply with an amazing saving right now. That's under 80 cents a day to possibly make a difference to your life. We're that confident you will love Karurah Turmeric Active. We are offering a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go on, take that step and experience the power of Karurah Activated Turmeric.
Well, welcome back. I'm here with Vic, and this is Karurah Activated Turmeric. Now, if you've just come into the show and maybe missed the first half, we're kind of going to summarize everything up in the next 10 minutes for you, so that if you did miss it, so Vic, we're going to have to go a bit quicker. I could sit and listen to him all day. But what I think people would love to know is, what are the benefits? What am I feeling at home right now that's going to make me want to pick up the phone and say, I need that in my life?
The most obvious and probably number one is joint pain, tenderness, lack of flexibility, lack of mobility in joints. That happens with age more and more, but still you can find, even I was watching a show on a gymnast, one of the world's best gymnasts, and just looking at how they suffer various joint injuries and so forth. So sporting injuries is something we haven't mentioned as well, but this is perfect for that as well. It'll accelerate the healing process as well. So pain in the joints, number one. Then recognise that we're suffering this inflammation from a whole host of different sources, whether it's air pollution from where we live, breathe, or drive past. It's chemical toxins as well, chemical pollution, which could be, the formaldehyde out of your carpets. It could be the plasticizers that are everywhere. It could be a whole range of different things, even asbestos in our building material. And now there's also problems with things that are making our furniture weatherproof or waterproof, the PFAS, the plasticizers.
It's around
there.
us. It's
everywhere.
everywhere.
We are living in a toxic world, there's no doubt. And that toxic world, the toxic effect, is metaflammation, okay? It's also the infections that we might get from bacteria, from viruses, from even parasites and so forth. In fact, there's an interesting story. I had a woman who'd spent some time in Asia, ended up with eating all the food, street food and so forth, came back. She was starting to embrace her products again from us, and using the turmeric. She sort of ended up with basically early awakening. I've had a parasite, gut parasite. There's the evidence, okay? And it basically cleaned it up. And that reminds me that effectively turmeric, as well as a few of the other ingredients here, are also antimicrobial, anti-parasite and so forth in the science.
Well, let's talk about the ingredients, because, I mean, all of these things with our joints and rate of aging and brain, heart, blood vessel, anywhere that we've got inflammation, there is something, and it's a synergistic blend of amazing functional foods that can help that. Tell us about these ingredients.
Yeah, what I'm trying to do is take one product that's also, the turmeric, and is loaded with a whole host of actives, being the curcuminoids, the three of those, plus resins, which are really an interesting ingredient class in themselves. And in fact, the bowl that you just handed there, that's an acacia resin that we also put in, and that actually came about from science that we actually, way back, analysing the species of wattle that was, that basically has that all over the plant itself. It was analysed from some samples that I'd donated or contributed to an arboretum in America. Suddenly we had these Americans researching, coming to us saying, look, this stuff, this resin here, is basically anti-rogue, an enormous amount, and we put that into the turmeric as well.
With the piperine, which is the
from black pepper, Illawarra plum for its
kakadu.
Antioxidants, again, it's anthocyanin antioxidants, it's sticky sugars. Kakadu plum for the vitamin C, because vitamin C enhances the absorption of the actives from the whole class of things. MSM for its sulfur. The pepper complex, where we've got Szechuan pepper, mountain pepper, and black pepper, or piperine.
And they're all helping
all
for the absorption.
All of those add other dimensions, other approaches of dealing with the whole inflammation problem. And then the anise myrtle is another plant which has anthocyanin antioxidants. It's got some really, really interesting essential oils that and transanethol, which is just a brilliant product in itself. So, you know, here is a whole banquet. It's a whole buffet of ingredients supplied in a single, easily digested, easily consumed form, which is slow release bound in the capsules, vegan capsules, slow released, because we don't want elements of it being digested in the stomach in the very low pH environment. Okay, and so it gets through the stomach, gets into the gut, and then it can be not only released there, but then our microbiome can handle it and take it out and absorb it, and then.
I'm sat at home. I'm convinced not only does Vic need his own health show, but I'm going onto the website right now. AussieSuperfoods.com. I'm ordering my turmeric, but when I get it home, Vic, I want to know how often do I use it, how many capsules a day, and when am I going to start to feel a difference? Because you'll feel it before you see it.
No, absolutely. Probably the next day as you wake up, and you're going to find that if you're taking it for joint pain, it's gone, and suddenly there's a new normal for you. 2 capsules in the morning when you're starting on it and you're addressing a situation that, you know, is obvious for you that you need a solution to. 2 capsules in the morning, 2 at night, and you can do that for 5 days, 7 days. Cut back to 2, and then you're good to go with 2 a day from then on. If you injure yourself again and you find that, you know, you've got other issues or so forth, or, you know, really our 2 capsules is sort of a maintenance serve. Anything else, you can just top it up with a few extra anytime you want, 1 or 2, whatever.
Right, you can't do too many.
You don't need to go much more, otherwise you're just wasting money. You're making expensive urine, as you do with most supplements. So there's no point in that.
Expensive wee-wee, I like that. You have such a way with words, honestly. So just think about it. How are you feeling right now? Is it getting you down? And I know particularly at the moment with the cold weather as well, your joints and everything just feel so much worse. Your inflammations, your bones, your brain, you know, just remember it's not only the things that you feel. Inside, we can have inflammation, as Vic said, that we don't even know about. We can have it around our organs. So this is almost like an insurance policy that you mentioned before.
No, absolutely. You know, I mean, I'm passionate at the moment about brain health and cognitive health, of, you know, how memories, in many ways, every time we have a memory, we basically, it goes in about 3 different areas of the brain and we store it away. When we pull it out, it changes and we put it back. So effectively, we're changing the past from our memories. But more and more people are now finding that they just can't remember names. They can't remember being somewhere or going somewhere, and sort of slowly we get, I mean, the numbers of people suffering various mental diseases are growing dramatically as Australia's population ages as well. We need to start that sooner rather than later. And so the earlier you can get onto a product like Karurah Activated Turmeric, you are beginning to address a lot of the problems that you haven't even discovered yet. But again, if you're finding that it's sometimes difficult to find a word or difficult to remember a name or a place, you can actually readdress that early on.
Yeah.
Okay, don't let it get to the stage where, you know, you found your car keys but you don't know what it's for.
No, I did it the other day. I walked past and I saw this nut on the floor and I still couldn't remember the name of what the actual nut was. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? It's a nut. You have to remember the name, but it's silly things like that.
Absolutely.
Now, we've come to the end of our show. It's been always so amazingly fascinating with you. If you want Vic's deal, buy 2, get 1 free, then quickly head on to AussieSuperfoods.com or use the QR code right now and go and stock up. And when you're there, have a little sniff around because there are so many amazing products. Vic's dedicated his life to this. There's life, there's Karurah, there's magnesium, and there's all of these ingredients are just so powerful. You could spend hours on the website, and it's at the end of the day, it's about how it makes you feel and what your new normal is going to be. And you've got the 30-day money-back guarantee. So there's nothing to lose apart from your inflammation. So AussieSuperfoods.com. Vic, we're about to wrap. What are any final words for our our ladies at home?
The whole thing is...
Oh, no time. I've got to say goodbye.
Okay,
We're
try
out.
it. Prove it for
Try
yourself.
it. I want to listen to him a little bit more. Can we just go for another hour? Take care. Get on the website. See you soon.
Cheers.